Alright, hello Vinny. If you're watching this, I managed to get the game exported for you. So, at the moment, this is just literally an export view, because I cannot be bothered to do a full release quite yet. And frankly, yeah, whatever. I'm a little scared to release it, and you don't seem like it'll be too harsh if the game is kind of trash. So this is just a quick tutorial on how to do the very basics of the game. So, in order to actually pilot the ship, you need to enter piloting mode. There's this invisible square right here. You can't see it. If you stand right here and you press R, it will enter piloting mode. I'm pressing WSD. You probably hear it through my shitty mic. I'm not moving. This is because I'm controlling the ship now. So, W is forward, S is back, A and D are left and right, Q is up, E is down. Those are your lateral movement keys. As for your rotational movement keys, I is pitch up, K is pitch down, J and L are rotate left and right, and U and O are roll left and right. So you operate this with two hands on the keyboard, and you're not using the arrow keys. You can also press R again to exit piloting mode and be able to move around the ship again. Yeah. So, in order to start up the ship, here's the basic process. Turn on the RCM system, pressurize all three tanks. They're out of order and that pisses me off, but whatever. Turn on the LENR, make sure this is pressurized up to 28% or higher. Hit validate reactant and start heating the core. This bar, obscured by all this debug text, but it won't be in the build I give you, will slowly fill up, and once it's around 50%, give or take, hit fuse allow, and this will start generating power. Next, hit MTS system power, validate reactant, propellant inject, helicon coupler, Spurcon enable, and ICH coupler, in that order. It's a lot to remember, but you'll get used to it once you start working on it. This button and this button are useless. Once you enter the atmosphere, hit this button and you'll get a major boost in your thruster power, which you will need in order to operate in atmosphere. Otherwise, you'll just fall. So remember, you hit this once you enter the atmosphere. You can't hit this in space. And if you feel like, if you want to be a little lazy, I don't know if this actually works, but you can try hitting this button. I don't think it will. And the temperature management system is not actually required to do anything unless you want to work. So, to set up the temperatures management system, click this button that says TMS SysPower. Click both these buttons, then flick this switch and click both these buttons again. This will pressurize both coolant loops. The rest of these buttons don't do anything. I don't think radiator deploy does anything. Torpedoes don't really work yet, but if you feel so inclined, turn on the torpedo system, turn on the autoloader, or you can manual load them if you feel like. Select whatever mode you want. Unguided is the only one that can have multiple torpedoes out at once. You can hit launch and fire off the torpedoes. It's pretty basic. And when you're in flight, you're going to want to have your NAS enabled. I'm not sure, it does not do anywhere near as much on the AC220, but the way you do it on here is you click NAS system power, AP allow, and then set your holds, which basically just click all these things. And now the ship will automatically slow down your rotation. Anyway, these buttons are system buttons. So landing gear toggle, self-explanatory, toggles your landing gear. It's not super important, but it can make landing a little easier. It can also make it a little harder, but it's up to you. VMS toggle. This toggles on and off the screen in your ship. Cockpit light toggles on and off a light to help you see. Engineering bay light toggles on and off a light in the engineering bay in the back. Backup cockpit light gives you a dim blue light, although this all is really unnecessary given the huge amount of ambient light in here. And toggle scope toggles a zooming in feature on the VMS, letting you see a little further, which is really useful, I found, when exploring. If you ever end up docked or your ship just cannot move, check to make sure that this lever is up. If the lever is down, that means you are docked to something, and you can undock by right-clicking on it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Interacting with all these, you just right-click on them. So yeah, this is your undocking lever. O2 station does nothing at the moment, but you can right-click on it to get some oxygen, and if you put O2 canisters against it, it will repressurize it, but that's not good. Anyway, these stowage containers, these are notoriously buggy, and all the items inside them are also buggy, so just be careful. Right-click on them to open them. Tab to close. tab. You can also hit tab to open your inventory. So right click to open them, left click to pick up and place items, right click to get a little tooltip, and let me just pull all these out. While holding an item in your hand, like this, you press F to interact with it, or use it, or equip it. So for that snack bar, I just ate it by pressing F. It doesn't do anything anymore. If I press F with this thing, it doesn't do anything. But if I press Z, it crashes the game. So I need to fix that. I'll have that fixed. But basically what that should do is that should drop the item. However, for these three items, the pistol, rifle, and binoculars, you can press F to equip it in your primary slot. So the binoculars, the right click is a zoom in and zoom out. Left click toggles a marker for your weapon. Fairly basic, but nice for navigation. Anyways, this warp system, which you'll really need which I will tell you, I've put in some special Easter eggs for you, but you need to use this warp system in order to find them, okay? So, in order to use the warp system, hit toggle the warp system power, validate the reactant, and then provided your temperature management system is fully powered up, you can click this to slave a coolant loop to it, and then start the cyclotron power sequence. This will slowly make this bar go up once it hits 92%. You can also, I would also turn this on, this drive cover toggle. You need this uncovered before you hit the button. Now this is at 98%. We can turn on the static magnetic stabilizers, electromagnet, and then start depressurizing the chamber. Once this reaches 2%, we can start injecting the reactant. Any second. There we go. And now this needs to get to 90%, and we can hit fire, which will effectively send us hurtling through space and time into the next system. So, I'm not going to do that quite yet, but yeah. Basically, that's it. So, yeah. And if you want to exit this ship, right here, this little section is how you exit. In order to re-enter the ship, there is... hold on. Alright. In order to re-enter the ship, you go towards one of these little greeble things on the outside. You can jump 3 times to help you with dealing with a janky, what's it called? Geometry. You can press Z to use a jetpack type thing. It will pop you up into the air and then launch you. Works like the thermal thruster from TF2 if you've ever played that. And finally, this is important because you might accidentally trip up doing this. If you ever get stuck, press V to trigger V-clipping mode. It is extremely janky and does not work. You can only travel up and down and forwards and backwards, and you cannot change the direction. And the keys are all wrong, but you can press V to toggle it again. I am not in the mood to fix that right now. I'm very tired, and I've been working on this for a concerning amount of time. I really hope you enjoy this. But yeah. Anyway, that's about it. So go out there, explore. I've left a bunch of secrets, or not really a bunch, but I've left a few secrets for you. There's one in the ship, and there's one on a planet in the other system. So I heavily encourage you. Use the warp drive, go to the snow planet. There's something on there for you. Okay. I'm gonna go and get this all set up for you, and I just want to say, I really appreciate your interest. Hope you have a great day.